Julie Goldman is the Countaway Research Data Services Librarian at Harvard University Library. There we go. Julie, we could see your slides now. You should be all set to go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So thanks, Todd, and hi, everyone. As Todd said, I'm Julie Goldman, Research Data Services Librarian at Harvard Library. Thanks to NISO for having me participate in this webinar today. And I'm really going to focus on collaboration as a key element for providing data services and building data science skills. And we've already heard so brilliantly from Stephanie and Courtney about collaboration is key. So I'm going to kind of build on some of those concepts. So just a quick little bit about me. I do have a bachelor's in marine biology. I received my master's in library science from Simmons. Currently, I offer data services at Harvard, where I am embedded at the Countaway Library of Medicine, offering direct services to the medical and health sciences community. I'm currently also building my own skills, taking a data science certificate through edX. And I'm mostly heavily involved in resource development, particularly for things that will lower the bar for researchers to implement data management practices. And I'm also a carpentries instructor, which you've already heard a little bit about the carpentries, but I'll talk really more in depth about my involvement with the carpentries. So to frame this presentation, I just wanted to pose this question, and I have to give credit to my colleague, Jeff Oliver, for this phrasing. We presented a similar topic at DLF last October, and I think this question really gets at the three elements that libraries have to consider with regards to data services. So can academic libraries balance high quality, campus level support in data science with in-depth consultation services that require considerable time and that expertise that we've been talking about? So first, let's focus on campus level. And I do just want to give some background about Harvard Library. So Harvard Library is the umbrella organization for all of Harvard's libraries, archives, and shared central services. We are highly decentralized. It is easier to think of us as a distributed network of organizations that provide services and resources to local academic communities. As you can see, there are a lot of libraries supporting lots of different units and many community groups. So overall, our library services happen locally because we find that researchers are more inclined to use local services that relate directly to their research. So I would say that there are kind of three categories of data services happening within Harvard Library: consultation, instruction, and specialty services. The specific types of services offered depend really upon that specific library and the needs of the community it serves, which we've already kind of been talking about. So for example, I provide consultations on data management plans and those data management best practices. I run seminars on data related topics, and those can be, overall, what is metadata, what is file naming, to, using the command line, Git, more in-depth topics. And I'm also directly embedded on a research team at Boston Children's Hospital as part of an NIH grant to enhance the data management practices of their project. And I do just wanted to share this quick kind of view of the services that our libraries are offering. These are the results from a November 2018 survey of 27 units across the libraries. And as you can see, we have services such as data liaison, data and text mining, data curation, data management planning and training, data viz, GIS services. And to be clear, not all of the libraries are offering these services. Services are offered at the local level. However, if another unit or researcher is in need of these specific services, we do try to facilitate communication and that connection. And of course, we had to get a data lifecycle in here. So all of our data services span the data lifecycle. And they're also provided in complement with other units across the university. So we do work closely with IT and research computing to refer researchers where necessary. We coordinate with sponsored programs to understand funding and data use agreement requirements. And we also partner with other research support groups, such as Digital Scholarship and Bioinformatics, to provide that relevant training. So I just mentioned a few groups that we partner with. I would describe Harvard as a network of these different groups that are either directly supporting data services or indirectly supporting various aspects of data management. So our network is distributed across the institution, and it is important to see how our data services are directed at local communities. And as I mentioned, we're trying to support that communication and coordination through people interactions. So of course, I sit on a number of school and institutional committees. And to give you an example of one of those cross-university committees is our Harvard Research Data Management Support Working Group. We are made up of groups of dispersed groups across Harvard and its schools. And our goal is directly facilitate communication, collaboration, and connectivity across the university. And this may seem like a lofty goal, but we meet monthly and report on what is happening locally. And we do find areas of collaboration. And there are additional university groups working on similar goals for more specific data services. So I've been talking a lot about Harvard overall. Here, I just want to show you what the local level looks like. So at County Library, I'm a member of our publishing and data services team. You can see that this team is also responsible for related services such as bioinformatics, scholarly communication, digital scholarship. I think a basic principle our team believes in is providing researchers with the tools and infrastructure to focus on their research and enhance their workflows. So one of our newer services is offering free premium accounts of Protocols.io. Protocols.io offers a platform for people to share their method and their method details before, during, and after publication. And they're also working to provide education regarding method creation, which is key to facilitating reproducibility. So we're really excited, to provide this support for our local community. And then lastly, the last campus level group I just want to highlight is our data management working group, which really brings together important campus stakeholders I've been talking about at the local level. So this group allows for our local connection and bridging of services that may be offered by many units. And this group has really been a vital for me as a data services librarian to build partnerships and determine where the library can be most beneficial in the community. Okay, so I provided a lot of collaboration pieces happening at Harvard. So now let's shift to talking about how libraries can facilitate high quality services. So when I think of high quality services, I believe it is reaching the people that need it the most in order to propagate the benefits. I think it's important to focus on how the library can be a driver of education for those who do not receive or have it. So I believe it was, Stephanie who started, the hardcore data science. So I'm using it as, the capital D, capital S, data scientists. They're going to be fine on their own, or they will seek that high level help from specialized units. So it's really focusing our efforts on the academics and the researchers who find themselves needing to program, but have no programming skills. And we've already kind of talked about the Carpentries, but this is a great program that has been around for a while, originally starting, as grassroots way to teach software skills to researchers. It's really expanded worldwide, internationally, and they recently incorporated library carpentry, which focuses on librarian development. So now we not only have a way to systematically teach researchers new skills, we can also focus on the quality of librarian skills. So I believe the main reason I was invited to talk today is on my ongoing involvement with the Carpentries. And specifically, Harvard is a member of the New England Software Carpentry Library Consortium, or NESCLC. And the goal of NESCLC is to use carpentry workshops as an opportunity to train librarians and early career researchers to improve their confidence with data skills. We organized a group of New England libraries, not just librarians, but also IT and research computing professionals who are, invested in this goal. And we partly pay for a gold level Carpentries membership. You can check out our website if you want to learn more, but I will be talking more about the consortium here. So through our membership, we are able to train carpentry instructors at a reduced cost for each of our member institutions. So here's a map of our 13 members who have been involved in the last 3 years. Both year 1 and year 2, we had 15 instructors complete the training. And this year, we were able to fund 22 instructors at a reduced per person cost. Some more numbers. Over the 3 cohorts, we have trained a total of 54 instructors. And we've either taught or helped at 26 workshops in the area. And while a majority of our workshops have been for our individual member institutions, we have co-sponsored workshops with regional organizations and helped at workshops either in the region or even outside the region. So our workshops take many forms at each institution since we serve our individual communities, such as weekend workshops, having to run workshops on 2 weekdays. So for example, Tufts has run workshops on Friday and Saturday, so people don't have to be away from school or work for 2 days. As mentioned, we have partnered with regional organizations. Most notably, we have worked with the New England chapter of ASUS to run workshops. Since they are a more established organization, they can handle the cash flow and charge a small fee for covering the workshops. Additionally, campus partners are really advantageous to work with. For example, Dartmouth splits its instructor and workshop costs 50-50 between the library and central IT. So every workshop is co-sponsored and marketed by both groups, but they alternate paying for them. And this is a great example of campus partnership that benefits both groups. So also manager nominations can be a great way to get buy-in from the administration on the benefit of building these data savvy skills. So for example, when we offered our workshops at Harvard to library staff, Harvard Library sought manager nominations for staff to participate in these workshops. And this really ensured that staff were supported to attend this 2-day workshop. Managers then understood the professional development advantages, and it also hopefully facilitated a conversation for how staff will then apply what they learned to their current positions. And lastly, we are really building a pool of carpentry instructors across New England. So this has really been beneficial for us to move around across the region and get experience teaching and helping at workshops. So specifically at Harvard, we joined the consortium. I think it was mentioned in the webinar last week that we really like the Carpentries pedagogy, and we also like the types of tools that are highlighted in the lessons, as they are what faculty, researchers, and now librarians need to use. So as I mentioned, for the workshops that we ran, we asked the library managers to nominate staff in order to get the buy-in. And through NESCLC, we have had 6 professionals complete the instructor training from across the university. And ensuring that these workshops match up with those who benefit is a high quality service that we're providing. I do have some feedback from participants. They like the lesson plan structure, how they build on top of each other. Just gonna move through these quickly so we can move on. And And they also feel that, library carpentry is extremely relevant for anyone who deals in any way with managing spreadsheets and data. So that was great feedback to hear from our librarians on how they could use what they learned. Just some lessons learned about the consortium. So getting started was kind of an unknown. We had to figure out how to sign a contract for 7 institutions, pay membership fees, and participate in the broader carpentry community. We had one member institution take responsibility for collecting money. We decided to have one contact for each school. So we created our executive committee to help with communication, establishing bylaws, and organizing things. And in order to get members on board, we really needed to make sure that we could accurately and persuasively communicate the value of the carpentries and the consortium to our administrators. So we wrote a proposal that each of our members could use. And at first, members struggled in various ways, navigating the carpentries, finding time to organize and teach, among other roles. But in the end, it was learning how to put on a workshop, maybe charge people for attending and those types of logistics. We have seen some unexpected benefits from our consortium. It's not just about instructor training, it's really about learning to teach and create a welcoming environment for people to learn these data skills. It has allowed us to expand our local network and collaborate with organizations. We are more involved in developing and expanding the current carpentry's instructional material. And we are being proactive to the changing roles of librarians within the library and advocating to be seen as a trusted data professional. Some of our future plans, I'll just mention that, we are still determining the need for this consortium and concept, but we think that as long as there are people interested, NestClick will be an option for libraries to get involved in the carpentry. And just to close on this concept of the carpentry, we're establishing a pool of carpentry instructors, leveraging the expertise of libraries and librarians. And this really offers a stability of trained professionals and staff instructors to provide high-level training within an institution. And as you can see, other regions across the US have adapted, or they've also created their own groups or consortiums. And just as a selfish plug for my article, or our article, excuse me, in JESLib, if you want to learn more about our consortium. Okay, and finally, I will address the burning question of expertise that we've kind of already talked about. What skills should we look for when hiring a data services librarian? I constantly go back to this tweet and this concept that librarians, particularly data librarians, are seen as unicorns who can do it all. But no one librarian can offer these data services, as we've seen. They must be provided as a team and in coordination with others. So to end on this point, I was fortunate to be a part of this workshop held at NIH, which looked directly at the competencies needed to be a data service provider. And I just have a few comments on the final list. The takeaway for me is you must gain foundational library skills that allow you to talk to researchers and determine their needs. Similarly, interview and assessment skills to understand your institutional needs in order to build programs and fill gaps. I think it is important to understand the research process, or that kind of data management 101 we've been talking about, and how data moves through a project. However, I admit I learned a lot about the medical community and their resources on the job, so this knowledge can definitely be developed. And those interpersonal skills are very important, as they allow you to build partnerships and foster collaboration and reach out and advocate for yourself. And then we've also already mentioned those skills for lifelong learning. Those are vital in order to facilitate building computational skills, data skills, again, learning about the subject domain, because as we've mentioned, they are constantly changing and shifting. So to answer our burning question, yes, but only through collaboration. And to close, I will just provide some advice to those who are interested in this area. And this is also some advice that I have received from colleagues. So lead by example, try things, people will come. And even if they don't come, we should all be able to learn from things that don't work. I suggest however you can or want, get involved with the carpentries, be a helper, or find partners and host workshops within the library. You need to understand your community, both at large, but then also your specific local community. And I found it would be most successful by learning what everyone else was doing and seeing where I could supplement or add additional value instead of stepping on those toes and recreating the wheel. And lastly, look for those unexpected opportunities to make an impact. I think NESCLIC was definitely kind of one of the things we weren't really looking towards, but it kind of fell into our laps and we've really embraced it. And I'll take questions at the end. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Julie, and congratulations on all that, all the work. It's such an interesting and exciting program.